Good evening, I'm Darren and welcome back to JUDVENTURES. Today we've had our first official look at Universal Orlando's Epic Universe. So Epic Universe is Universal's brand new for 2025 theme park, which is set to play host to over 50 awe-inspiring and immersive attractions, entertainment options and dining experiences throughout the land. There's no doubt that when Universal Orlando finally open Epic Universe, it's going to change the face of Orlando forever. Anyone that goes regularly, there are other places like SeaWorld, there's Busch Gardens down in Tampa, but the iconic fight between the two is Disney, Universal. You've got your multiple Disney parks, you've got Universal Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios. Those are the two big boys that appear in any conversation about Orlando, but Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure are now getting that back up in Epic Universe. And it's not a small project, it is a huge thing that's going to change Orlando for the better, and I couldn't be more excited for this. It does look like I'm crying. That's not out of excitement, that is a stupid mistake of putting contact lenses in when you've had a chili pizza. I highly suggest not to do that. But anyway, today they have now announced the first part of Epic Universe, and that is Celestial Park. Now, Celestial Park is going to be the main central area at Epic Universe. It's going to have beautiful botanical gardens, meandering waterways. It will greet guests as soon as they enter the park. It'll take them into this magical world of lush living gardens, stunning ornate architecture that's going to be inspired by sort of like mythological and astronomical elements, as well as shimmering waterways with dancing fountains. For me, if we were going to base an IP around this area, this very much feels and looks by the concept art as though it's kind of an Asgard from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's got the big ornate structures, it's got this wonderful open scenery, all glowing, sparkling, very astronomical. It looks absolutely phenomenal, but it does very much remind me of Asgard. And it is just this main area that they've given us some information on today. We do know a bit about the other areas, but it's nowhere near as much details as they have shared today. So without further ado, if we have a look at what they have said. Celestial Park is just that. It's going to be designed as this big open park, which is going to feature such things as multiple dining experiences throughout the entire land, selling all kinds of things such as barbecue and pizzas, etc. But the two main dining experiences that you can have in Celestial Park are going to be Atlantica, which is kind of a surf and turf restaurant, as well as the Blue Dragon Pan-Asian restaurant, which is obviously going to be some Oriental cuisine in there as well. I know one of them at least is a sort of sit-down, very fancy restaurant. I don't think these are the quick service types, but two really good-looking and exciting restaurants coming to Celestial Park. One of the main attractions of Celestial Park is going to be Astronomica. Great name. This is going to be the centre of Celestial Park, which is an interactive wet play attraction, which as the sun sets, it'll transform into a spectacle adorned with a symphony of lights, vibrant colours and music as this central area for park goers to sort of gather round and feel immersed in the area. It's sounding like a really nice place to be. One of the main attractions in Celestial Park is going to be Sta Fall Races, which is a dual launch racing coaster, sending guests riding through on comets, having a race with each other. It tops out at speeds of over 60 miles per hour and is over 130 feet tall at its highest point, which is around 3/4 of the big one. So a nice, tall, exciting coaster, and it also features some incredibly exciting new elements, including a I forgot what they call it, the Celestial Spin or something like that, but essentially both tracks are going to be crossing over each other, but they're going to be crossing over each other whilst inverted. It's the first ever element of its type, and it's looking really exciting for this dual launch coaster, and very, very unique as well. I'm very intrigued to see what the ride vehicles look like as you're meant to be riding around on a Comet. I am anticipating and highly excited for the fact that we could see a really excellent lighting package on these coasters. If you can imagine, on a night time, these coasters meant to be looking like comets just gliding through the sky in Epic Universe. Oh, it would look amazing. I can't wait to see how that develops. But the element where it crosses over during an inversion just sounds mad. It's really good. Another main attraction is Constellation Carousel, which is very Disney-like enchanted carousel covered in hundreds of points of starlight, offering this cosmic ambience for guests enjoying the ride on celestial lions, dragons, peacocks and more. Now, when I think of celestial, I can think of dragons, I can just about think of lions, a big strong creature, but a celestial peacock, we'll see how that one works out. But not only is Celestial Park a land of its own, but it also stands as the central hub to Epic Universe. It's very much like Disney's Central Plaza, but Universal's own take on this, where Astronomica is going to serve as a compass, pointing guests and guiding guests in the direction of all 4 other parks. Now, those 4 other parks, we haven't got too much brand new information on them. We do obviously know a lot from previous releases and a lot of the aerial footage shared from the likes of Bioreconstruct, but no new news today. But those entrance portals, we do have some concept art which are looking fabulous, and as well as the concept art, you will be able to see from these Bioreconstruct photos that they are going into place and looking amazing now. But I do really like these ideas of portals, so no longer do you have this big, hard, dramatic change and contrast from one area to another as you just walk through a door, but you're going to have this portal which slowly eases you and gives you this transformative experience as you're going through into this new area. As you pass out of the portal, you'll just be immersed in a whole new area of theming. And the 4 places that you will get to go through these portals include the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Ministry of Magic, where guests will be able to feel immersed in the 1920s Wizarding Paris, as well as the British Ministry of Magic as well. Both more made famous in the Fantastic Beast films, but it's a really nice take on what is an already largely used IP. We are big fans of both the movies and of Universal Studios, and Hogsmeade, the Hogswater Express and Diagon Alley both look absolutely fantastic. Some of our favourite areas of any theme park that we've ever been to. So it's nice to see that they're sticking with such a well-loved and liked IP, but they're not just repeating the same theming. It's going to be something new, something immersive, and we're very, very excited for this. Not only will you have that Harry Potter Ministry of Magic, but go through another portal and you will go into Super Nintendo World. Now, if you've been following Universal around the world, you'll know that they have had massively successful openings of Nintendo lands in both LA and Japan. But guests are going to be transported into their very own Mario video game, where they'll be able to drive around in real-life Mario Karts. They'll be able to take on the likes of Bowser, as well as going on the Donkey Kong coaster, which is an incredibly unique coaster with a one-of-a-kind track system, whereby it wants to give you the visual impact that you are riding on a track which has brakes in it, and your kart will jump over the tracks. It's lucky, I've seen the ride system. It looks like it will stand out like a sore thumb, but but I'm hoping they're able to pull this off in a way in which you can't really see that underlying track, in which case this will be phenomenal to see. It will be a really, really good ride experience. The third land in amongst all of this is the How to Train Your Dragon Isle of Burke, where guests can soar with dragons, hang around with colourful Vikings, all from the How to Train Your Dragon films. Now, this was an odd choice for me, as How to Train Your Dragons was a popular film. Both of them were quite popular, but by no means were they game changers in the way that something like Toy Story was or Harry Potter was. So it seemed like an odd choice when Universal decided to use this IP. But from what we can see from the construction pictures, this does look fantastic, and I wouldn't be surprised if Universal flipped this on its head, and if rather than hitting an incredibly successful film franchise and building an area from that, they will look at how popular the area is, and I reckon we're probably going to end up with a How to Train Your Dragon 3 or 4 or even more. And then finally, the most exciting area for me is Universal's Dark Universe, where guests are going to be immersed in a moody, dark and shadowy environment, all based around Dr. Frankenstein's experiments. All of the monsters there, I'm assuming the Mummy, the Wolfman, lots of those iconic Universal monsters, and it's just going to be fantastic. I'm a huge horror fan, and my entire family is a huge horror fan. You can probably see just behind me, we've obviously got the meetings of Kiefer Sutherland because of The Lost Boys, and Zach Galligan from Gremlins. We've got signed Gizmo up here. We're massive horror fans, and this area is going to be brilliant. We obviously huge lovers of Phantom Manor, and when we first heard of the idea that Disney could potentially be bringing a Disney Villains Land along with Maleficent's Castle, that was a proper little pee my pants moment. It was so exciting that could possibly come to fruition. However, it never did. So the fact that Universal have gone with the Dark Universe, and there's going to be a whole land themed around that dark, shadowy, horror kind of franchises, is massively exciting to us. Now, we know it's obviously not going to be too dark, but we know how good Universal are with horror. We've gone to the Halloween Horror Nights. You've all seen the Halloween Horror Nights. They're absolutely brilliant. The theming is second to none. It's top notch. It's really immersive, and I just can't wait to be in this land as well. Thinking about walking around with the haunted houses, the haunted trees, big, dark, danky landscapes. Hopefully they're using smell pods. It's just so exciting, and I personally would love a whole theme park just designed like this. But to have this one area, it's a dream come true. So that is all from today's update from Universal Studios on the new areas and lands. Let us know in the comments down below what you thought of Celestial Park, and what are your thoughts on the other themed areas from Epic Universe. Let us know if you're planning to go in 2025. We're certainly going to be saving up every little bit of pocket money to make sure we can get over at some point within the next 10 years. Hopefully a lot quicker than that, but let us know if you're going and what your thoughts are. By all means, if you like this video, or if you want to follow us on any of our future vlogs and news content surrounding the world of theme parks and attractions, then smash that subscribe button. If you like this video, please hit that like, it really does help. And with that being said, hit the credits.